What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, and we are back. We are back with another daily trade review. We are closing the week out green. Had a nice solid green day today, and I think we had a full green week this week, even with the foolishness we had going on yesterday. But today was a firing on 7 cylinders day. And I say that for those people that are out there that are into muscle cars. We know that the true muscle cars back in the day were V8s. They was small block Chevy 350s. They were big blocks 455s. And we took 8 trades today, 7 of them green. So we had that one trade that wasn't quite firing on that cylinder. And when we go to review that trade, I think that might have been a green trade had I left the stop alone. And we'll kind of talk through that when we go to review it. But let's go ahead. Let's look at the thumbnail watch list. Let's get inside of TRADERVUE, and then we'll pull the charts up and take a look at the trade. So let's get it on. All right, so there we have our thumbnail watch list for today. I had quite a few ideas on the watch list this morning. One of those we added to the watch list after the market had opened. It came off of our previous high of day scanner, and it is the stock that we traded the most today. But we'll start at the top. We had Costco on the watch list, COST. That was our red trade. We had CPG, didn't get anything on that. We had Tesla. Just like yesterday, missed a great opportunity on Tesla. I'm gonna blow this one up real quick. I was actually watching another stock and missed this one. But we see Tesla open below previous high of day, and it made a nice move up, broke it, dropped back down. I lost interest in it. And we see once it reclaimed previous high of day, never looked back. From the point where I would have entered, which was right there where that line is at, this thing made a $21 move. Made a nice $21 move. So, missed that opportunity. We had SRG. We did take a trade on this one later on in the morning. We had USEA. Nothing there. We see that it opened right at previous high of day and just sold off. We had Citibank. Almost took a trade on this one. Almost took a trade. So glad I didn't. Right up in here. Reason I didn't was because I wanted to see it come back down and hold it and not take it off of the first move. Glad I did. That saved me $50. Halliburton, HAL, we took a trade on this one later on in the morning. DVN, nothing there. TH, no trades. Oxy, sold off. And then CLVS. CLVS is the one that we found on the previous high of day scanner. And this one right here, it made us some decent money today. And then we have the markets. Not really trading the markets. Have those on there just so that I can see if stocks have relative strength or weakness to the particular market that they are trading in. So we see NASDAQ, that's the Qs. So any stocks that are NASDAQ stocks will normally be moving with the Qs. Same thing with the SPY, is New York Stock Exchange. Anything with NS or NYSE usually will move with the SPY. So we're just looking to see if they moving with it, if they're going against it, where the SPY is going higher and a particular stock is going lower, that's showing weakness. Or if the market is going down and the stock is going higher. That's what I want to see. I want to see the market going down and a stock going higher because I don't short stocks. So that's showing relative strength to the market. Usually if you could find a stock doing that, it's on its own page. And if the market recovers and starts going higher, it's usually going to boost that stock. So if you're in a trade and it's showing relative strength, if the market can gain some strength, it's usually going to boost the trade. But let's go ahead. Let's pull up TRADERVUE. Bring that down some. We are reviewing trades from Friday, July 8th. Took 8 trades today. Closed P&L $393. Solid morning. We traded Costco. Like I said, small red day. I'll be interested to get reviewing that one. Clvs, this is where we traded the most at. And this is the one that made us the most money today. Traded Halliburton, HAL, small green trade there. And then SRG. And SRG went to target for us. So that is what we were looking at. Let's go ahead. Let's get the charts pulled up. And if you have not already hit that like button, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get cost pulled up. And let's see. We got the 1 minute already pulled up. That's what I actually took this trade on, was the 1 minute chart today. So let's change the big chart to the 1 minute chart. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, that's today's 1 minute. It's just not all the way over yet because I'm like, I don't see the pattern I was looking at. So, all right, there we go. So, look at that. We were in the good, 64 bucks on this trade. It had only went against us $17. Let's look at the details. So we got in this one. I already know the candle, so I'll drop it at the amount. 599 or 599 cents. So we see Costco came up, it pulled back, nice little pullback. We want to get in right as it breaks that candle. Let's highlight it. The high of that candle is 599 cents. Bam, we got in right as it broke it. Trade is working for us. Trade is working for us. We have this area marked on the chart. This thing came up. This is when we got in our 1R out of the trade. So we're moving our stop up to break even. Didn't quite get it to break even. And look at this wicked red candle right here. Red candle came down, slapped us, took that $9 loss. But let's look at the chart. We know right there is where our stop is at. Right there. So let's take a peek, man. Look at that. Look at that. How much was the stop? With these big stocks, you're gonna have a big stop. So this was a $2 stop. That's why you see we only bought 25 shares. So $2 at 4 or at 501. We needed $4 out of the trade. So we needed the trade to go to 505. Let's see. Wouldn't have got it there. This one would have got it. Yep, 505.08. So we would have been out of the trade over here around 10:30. So it would have been in this trade a full hour had we let it work, but it would have worked. It would have worked. And that's why I said we should have had all 8 of them cylinders firing red hot premium fuel today. But not bad. Was a good entry. Well thought out trade. We had this area marked, so we knew that it was going to cause a little problem. Didn't know that this big red candle was going to come down here, though. That was wicked. And then we see that it recovered, though, and it went on about its business. But that's how we started the morning off. It was like, okay, no problem. We still feeling good. And that was the thing. I was feeling good about this morning when I woke up, even with all of the foolishness trades we were taking. All the trades we were taking yesterday, still had a good feeling about this morning. But like I said, we ran across CLVS. And look at this chart. This is a thing of beauty right here. Especially when it got over this little top and tail right there. But let's take a peek. Let's see. What did we make on this one? We made 20. This one went 1R. Only it went 19 against us. 500 shares, so that's a 10-cent stop. Let's see what we were looking at on this one. I'm gonna switch over to the 2-minute now. About this time of day, I'm not really looking at that 1 minute. Usually only trading the 1 minute, like maybe the first 10, 15 minutes out of the morning. But we got in this trade at 9.50. So this candle right here, $2.58. Bam. So got in right here. Probably should have waited until we got past this point right here. Just knowing, we see that this one right here came up to it, but still didn't really pose any kind of true risk. And let's see where we got out of this thing. 9.55. So it's actually going to be this candle here. Got out at 262. Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Had we left stop at break even, had we left the stop at break even, that's our entry. We would not have stopped out. We would have not stopped out, and this thing easily made target. But that was our first trade. That was our first trade, or our first trade on CLVS, I guess I should say. But I was kind of locked in on this one today for some reason. It was something about it. I was noticing that basically the candles were 10-cent candles. If you look at most of these candles, they were 10-cent candles. That's 7 cents. That's 8 cents. That's 6. That one's a little big, 13, 12, 13. But they were staying right around 10 cents, 10 to 15 cents. And that's what I kind of locked in on. And I'm like, I could get in a trade with a 10-cent stop. I don't think it's going to come back down and work against me until the pattern changes. So got in this one at 10.02. 10.02, 267. Right there. Again, we had this pullback, had the color change. We getting in as it breaks that point. This candle was 6 cents. Again, we were just doing 10 cents, 500 shares, risking $50 per trade. We got out of this one 10.09. Where is that? That's going to be in that candle at 288. Got out right there hitting target. That's the thing. I could have stayed in and made a little bit more money, but let's take that money. Let's take 2R. Let's take 2R and let's look for other opportunities. I said that in another video earlier this week. Either look for opportunities in the same stock that we trading, or let's get back over in the watch list. So this one was still producing opportunities, and that's what caused me to miss Tesla. But again, we're finding opportunities. This one here, another one, 500 shares, 10-cent stop. We got in this one at 10.04. So actually got in this one while that one was still working. Let's see, where did we get in this one? At 277, right there. So getting in there, putting that stop down there. Let me see what see if the 5 may have just showed a pattern on it. So yeah, we was getting in right here off of this candle right here. And got out of this one at the same time that we got out of those other ones. 282. Or no, we got out of this one early. Right there. On that move, but I could have stayed in that one because that thing never did show no reason to be getting out of it. So that one was a little interesting, but nonetheless, we made, what, 25 bucks on that one? Yeah, 25. Definitely won. And I can't see why I would have moved my stop on that one. So that's interesting there. I gotta check, see if I had turned on OBS, because I've been trying to record while I'm trading, just screen record. Don't really have a camera going, because when I have my camera going, it seems to lag my computer sometimes. But let's look at this next one that we took. Got in this one at 10.20. Like I said, I don't know. It was something about this stock today. I was talking about it in RT's chat room, and I was like, nah, if I had areas marked on the chart, and I was like, if it can get past this area, this is what it's going to do. And I pretty much was just trading it that way. But this one here got in at 292, got out of it 11 minutes later, 10:31, and got out at 309. This one here was a nice trade that came right to this area, which was good because 315 was an area that I had mentioned in RT's chat room that was from some resistance on the 4-hour chart. So had you not really looked at the 4-hour chart or looked at like a 30-minute chart out a few days, you probably would not have seen this area. But I was like, if it can get over 315, break and hold, this thing can run a good little ways. But we see that it came right up to it, pushed back, it peekabooed over it, but it didn't hold. But this was one, and it actually, I didn't even notice that. It like went to target and we didn't get out of the trade. Only made 85 bucks on the trade. So we lost $15 trying to play around in this area right here. Trying to play around in that area, thinking that we're going to get the breakout, something that we said we don't need to be doing. Need to be locked in on that 2-to-1. And on some of these, when I set my brackets, I did have the bracket set with a 10-cent stop and a 30-cent target. 30-cent target would have had it up here. So that I do remember. When I was setting my brackets, I was putting the stop where I wanted it at, but I did have the target a little higher than 2-to-1. And this is one of them. That was one of them right there. But let's take a peek at this last CLVS trade. And this is one I think that one said it had broke. Yep, this is one I was playing it to break and hold at 315. So let's take a peek at this one. We got in this at 1033. And we got in at 315, so we right on the mark. We on the, go back, there we go. So we on the, we were on the 1 minute chart. That's the 2 minute chart. Got in 933, so just as it broke it, again, no confirmation. Didn't have any confirmation. And we got out of this one 3 minutes later. 336, and we got out at 323. So once we see that this was coming back down, we're getting out of it. And what the max was is what we made, 42.50. So kind of moved the stop down. And that was it. That was the last trade. I still kind of was watching this this morning. And I don't know if you had noticed yesterday, I had a chart where I had the same channel on there, just trying to kind of study what these stocks is doing. So I had dropped the line here, from here to that point, extended it out, and then made a channel. And look at this thing, it traded right in the channel, almost perfectly, and then broke to the downside. Wicked break to the downside. And that's all I was trying to do, just kind of trying to get some study in while I was sitting at my desk. But that's a perfect example of the stock trading in a channel, goes up to a point, come back down to that same point, goes back up. This one kind of peekabooed out of it, came back down. So usually you wanting to see it do that, and then if it breaks out, come back on this bottom side and now use that as support to go higher. Otherwise, it could stay in this channel all day and just kind of grind up, or it could do what it did here and just broke out and just said the heck with the channel. It didn't even try to come back up to get back in it. It just gave up the ghost. But that was CLVS. Nice, solid trades. And I guess you can also come over here and look, and you see you got your M-top forming where it came up, made the move back down, kind of channeled up. It didn't set a higher high here, but it set a higher low from that point. Then it set the higher high, came back, and then that was all she wrote. So, and this is why I like to look at the charts, just try to learn stuff. As what you see on a chart today will definitely show itself up on a chart in the future. But HAL made half an R on this one here. Decent 2 minute on the entry right there. That was a decent entry, but again, we got that little top over there. So let's look at the particulars. We see that this one had went 1R. Went 1R, again, 500 shares, which means we're risking 10 cents. We see it went 10 cents. That's 1R. But let's take a peek at it. We got in this one at 1042. 1042 is right there. Got in this one at 30.09 cents. So right there. Knew that this didn't have much room in it. I should have had expectation. Should have had expectation on this trade. And that's why I made money on the trade instead of just moving the stop to break even once it broke and we had 1R out of the trade. And expectation being that this is going to come right up here to previous high of day and get rejected. And that's what it did. We got out of this 1046. So this candle here, 1046, 30 and 14 seconds. So right there. So this, it came up, touched previous high of day, pulled back. It did finally come back up and try to reclaim it, but it couldn't, and it failed. So decent trade. Like I said, trading plan says to move it to break even. We captured a little profit on it just because we figured it was going to come back down. And I guess I need to just kind of pay attention to the charts a little more. If it looks like it's going to keep running, I'm not going to say that. Nope, not going to say that. Let's lose that thought. Let's keep the trading plan just like it is for right now, because we're making money. All right, last trade of the morning, SRG. SRG, this was one that was doing stuff, I think, yesterday as well. Let's look at it on there. Decent quick chart on the 2-minute. This was a wham bammer, looks like it. 500 shares. 10-cent stop seemed to have been the way to go today. We see this one went against us a little bit. This one, we was down 40 bucks. 10 more dollars, we would have stopped out on this bad boy. But we got in this one, 1049. It's fine, 1049, that's 1048. Got in this one at 968. So getting in as it's breaking this area right here. We do have this little bit of resistance right here that we may have to deal with. I'm going to drop a line right there. Up. Nope. Let's change that to that. Now let's drop a line right there. Look at what this area did. So I always say look to the left, because that's what I've been taught, what I've been trained. Look to the left. This is going to act as resistance, possibly. Didn't act as resistance. So now the stock comes back, and now it uses it as support. So now the ceiling, and I said this backwards in a video a while back that I went back and listened to. So this is acting as the ceiling going up. You bump your head on the ceiling and you go back down. But imagine if you can just break through that ceiling. You break through the ceiling, and then that hole seals back up where you broke through it. Now the ceiling has become the floor. And that's exactly what this did. This was going to possibly act as resistance, broke through it, stock came back down. Now it's acting as a floor and it's giving you support. And boom, nice clean move. But we got out of this one 1051, 988. Where's 988 at? Top of this candle. Up and see, now I didn't change that. Let me do that. Let me go there. Change that to that. Come on. Oh, maybe if I hit the right tool. There we go. Yep, so came up, hit our target, and it pulled back to the floor, and then it took off. We were done by then. In the market, a little over an hour today. Not bad. Had a buddy the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, I was talking to, was telling him how much I had missed out on yesterday by those bonehead trades I was making. And he was like, man, that ain't really no money. You complaining over such and such. It's like, first of all, $200 a day, that's $50,000 a year. But more importantly, I'm only sitting at the desk 2 hours at the most, sometimes maybe 3 hours. So when you do the math on that, I think that's decent money. And again, I am still in training. I tell myself that all the time, even when I'm beating myself up. I am still in training. This is basically on-the-job training. Or I should say I'm still in school. When I take them bad trades and they cost me, that was tuition. I'm just trying to keep the tuition low and eventually get the school to start paying me to learn. And days like today, the school paid me to learn. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this one up. I hope y'all enjoyed it as usual. Hope y'all have a good weekend. If you're here in the Sunshine State, be careful. It's supposed to be raining. It's kind of getting it right now. If you're in the other parts of the country or the world, hope y'all have a good, safe weekend. And if you're trading, get your studying on this weekend and be ready to take on the market on Monday. On that note, I'm out of here. Peace.